Hey, yo, what is going on with it once again, bros, women, bronies, and pegs? This is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Nintendo Soda Free 2011, aka Criticism Guide 2009. You guys know the rest of the intro, and like I was just saying in every part of the video, definitely check out freedomnetwork.com, of course, TroubleNetworkStudios.net. Any people want a professional channel, paint a picture, design for you, and all those other goodies out there that they have. Best partnership I ever had, and definitely check them out on their official YouTube channel page, and of course, last but not least, their official website, or you just Google it, to whoever suits your needs. So, without further ado, let's begin. So we're going back into another old school nostalgic trip. It's crap that I grew up with way back in the day when it was a lot more original. I'm not saying that the new stuff is a lot more BS and crap, except for a couple of them like, Amazing World of Gumball, Adventure Time. I'm not really crazy about those. They're annoying as crap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you like them, but they just suck ass to me. I'm sorry. They just do. So, I'm sorry if you're a fan of it. But it doesn't go well with me. It just doesn't. But anyways, this is a little like cartoon conspiracy theory, but this first part isn't a theory, it's just what it's talking about. So you can skip this part if you want. The second part, you definitely want to stay into for. It's like Creepypasta Wiki, which goes very well with this because it's about monsters. I think the same people made Wild Thornberrys and Rugrats back in the 90s. AHHH Real Monsters. I've been wanting to do this one for almost 3-4 years straight. And I finally got enough time to sit down and finally get this little mini Creepypasta going for you. So this is just what the show's about. Highly imaginative. This was from ComplexMagazine.com, if you want to check it out. Highly imaginative, yet criminally underrated. AHHH Real Monsters had the perfect blend of children's humor and some truly grotesque set pieces. Not as controversial as Ren and Stimpy or as neurotic as Doug, AHHH Real Monsters was great for the young fans of fantasy and horror. The characters in the original series resembled creatures in a Terry Gilliam film rather than a Saturday morning cartoon, and a unique charm separated the show from this pack. Unfortunately, the concept of monsters has already been done in Monsters, Inc., so in any AHHH Real Monsters movie would have had to make sure it wasn't just repeating what Pixar already did. But if it was a filmmaker really latched onto the show's dark tone and twisted sense of humor, perhaps AHHH Real Monsters would have been given the respect that they deserve. So yeah, that's pretty much it there. And I might have to do a second part of this. This might be a 30-40 minute video. It might be super long, so bear with me if I have to do a second part. So this is the CreepypastaWiki.com, and it's called AHHH Real Monsters: The Final Scare. This was from March of last year. Dang. While back. So this is what it says. One day last year, I was out and a friend shopping at a garage sale. And a lot of this is fake. Don't take this as reality. This is only for fake BS, craps and giggles. It's only for comedic purposes. So hopefully you guys understand it. Don't take it literally. One day last year, I was out with a friend shopping at a garage sale, trying to find furniture for his new apartment. And I might be the first person that does a theory on this, because I looked all over YouTube. I couldn't find no cartoon theory on AHHH Real Monsters at all. The day was bright and sunny, ordinary for Florida. When we had found all the furniture he needed, and people started to end their sales, we started driving home. He pulled over into the yard, and an elderly couple who was still sitting by the table of things to be sold. There were mostly ceramic statues, an old book, things you would expect for people that age to find. But one thing really caught my eye. On the table was a box, maybe 12 movies. I started digging through them, seeing the most unique title starring Tom Hanks, at least my least favorite actor. I was about to walk back into the truck, and I noticed one tape said, "AHHH Real Monsters: The Final Scare." My heart started racing with excitement, seeing as how I'd never seen this episode, and the fact that I had assumed that show had been completely disappeared. I asked the price of the tape, and this old man said he'd give 10 cents for it. He had no use for it since his grandkids were all grown up and never watched the tape. All the time I didn't notice his odd tone of voice. When my friend and I had returned to his new apartment, I insisted that we procrastinated on unloading the furniture so we could watch the tape. He agreed, and he put the tape into the built-in VCR of his small television. The episode started with 10 seconds of static, then cut to the dump. In the place of the normal dark colors, they The beloved cartoons were almost painfully vivid hues, the most prominent of which was a disturbingly realistic blood red splattered over the trash and soaking into the dirt, the texture of which was more carefully drawn than normal. The soft sound of static continued in the background while the camera slowly zoomed in towards the washing machine. It was now dented, scratched, and splattered in small bits of brain matter. I cringed at the appearance of the familiar dump that had been warped. It looked so horrific. When inside the Monster Academy, the seats were empty except the spots where Crump, Ickis, and Oblina were sitting. Zimbo, the obnoxious monster from the episode Ickis and the Red Zombie, was flying around in a clumsy circle and a malicious look of anger. Angry Grumble, looking through, which is that character right there, looking through someone that had stabbed him in his left wing. The Grumble looked up into a trio with hyper-realistic eyes, the red lips twisting into a horrid grin. He held up in a single finger, as if to indicate that he wanted the monsters around him to stop talking, which was quite necessary considering the fact that no one was making a sound. Tonight, he hissed, the four of you will team up and perform one final scare, a scare so horrifying that it will be your last. You must complete it like our fallen brethren have already done. He looked at the ceiling and paused for maybe 30 seconds. Go! Now! 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 He screamed, causing Ickis to cringe, and the first sign of movement of the trio of monsters. Oblina uttered something under her breath, sounding like, I am Ishis Vikas Udhed Avadino. I have no idea what the hell that means. Crumb nodded and added, I am Isis Agaporo Asabido. Ickis unshakily whispered, I am blah 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 blah. I'm not even going to say that. Zimbo laughed sadistically. I'm not even going to say that either. My friend who had taken Latin courses of classes whispered the phrases in English, making the hairs on my back stand up. The scene then cut to black for about a minute, and slowly brightened to reveal the four monsters hiding in an alleyway, malice in their eyes. Oblina picked up Crumb, throwing him through the alleyway under the bus, a look of genuine shock on his face. Photorealistic blood splattered in the front of the bus of the streets as I watched my favorite characters die, his eyes rolling in the feet of a small child who began to sob. The blood on the windshield caused the bus to swerve, hitting a young family and smashing them against the side of a large bus building as the remainder of three monsters remained hidden in the alley, chuckling in an undemonic manner. Ickis, you're next. Oblina screeched enthusiastically. The car zoomed into her face of the small red monster who was shaking and shuddering helplessly of fear. A single tear dropped from the eye as he hesitantly nodded. Ickis put on his normal scary face, and then, though the context was all wrong, making the lovable monster and the unreaving beast too aware of his own fate. Ickis then walked to the slowly center of a group of people watching obsessed street mime intently. I have no idea what that word is. He creeped up from behind the man in black and white stripes, climbing up the clothes and in a flash digging his small claws in the back of the man's skull, tearing abruptly through the bones and brain tissue until his now even redder hands emerged from the mime's eyes. The mime fell backwards onto Ickis, and then the monster's bones could be heard crunching under the weight of the mime as a photorealistic gore splattered the crowd. The camera cut back to Oblina and Zimbo, whose laughter echoed throughout the small eyes. Shall we do a final horse together? Zimbo asked. Oblina nodded. The two walked over to the young boy who was frantically attempting to help an old woman across the street. Away from this terrible scene, Oblina grabbed onto Zimbo obnoxiously. Monsters flew upward, lifting them across the street and in front of their targets. Zimbo swiftly flew down into the old woman's throat, leaving a grotesquely large lump, and the sound of small wings beating against the flesh could be heard from her. The lump that was Zimbo jerked around uncontrollably for a moment before the sound of Zimbo's wings sliced and the lump of the old woman's throat stopped moving. The woman, now in blue face, fell to the ground. Grandma, Grandma, no! The boy was screaming violently. He began to smash his head onto the pavement. Oh, shit. which the wounds was getting worse and worse until the screen faded to black. The camera cut back into the Monster Academy where a blood splatter Oblina stood in front of the ground bullet, who had an evil grin on his face. "Oh, Oblina, how marvelous," he said. As the scare played onto the screen. "You managed to kill all these humans and trick the others into a sure suicide. This is the best scare I've seen in decades." The grumble stared at Oblina for maybe a minute, and his grin only grew wider and more grotesque before saying the words, "Congratulations, valedictorian." When the episode ended, my friend and I stared at each other in total shock. He was shaking violently as he's having a seizure before going still. I looked at the tape of the Goodwill nearest to my house. Oh man, it's funny how they would try to make this real when it's all fake as hell. This is why I don't give a crap about creepypastas that much. A lot of them are the same as that BS most of the time. It's just regurgitated. That's why I don't do these very much, but I do them once in a while. Alright, it was a horrible idea since I would never finish the episode anymore. So if you're the unfortunate and nostalgic person to find this tape, burn it. I wouldn't want you to suffer the same horrific nightmares I've been having lately. Oh man, that's freaking hilarious, man. I gotta remember not to curse because of my partnership and all that. My God. There's nothing I can really say about that. The whole creepypasta speaks for itself. And it's still nostalgic as hell for me anyways. I don't give a crap. Because you know a lot of these creepypastas are fake. I mean, back in the day, which is less than 2 years ago, about a year, 2, 3, 4 years at most ago, when I first started hearing about these creepypastas, heard of them as cartoon theories. And after I heard of them as video game theories, if they're a video game creepypasta, that's understandable for me. Because, you know, I'm a video game fanboy, but not just with Nintendo and Sony, with other things too, with PC games, you know? So that's another thing that definitely cuts my heartstrings out really good. You know, pulls my heartstrings a little bit. That cuts them out. I'll be dead. There's that. And I remember the voices were really, really awesome too. But my overall thoughts, views, and opinions on this, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 because it was really, really crap. I like the intro a lot better than the outro. I went on complexmagazine.com because complexmagazine.com was a lot better than the Creepypasta Week. But, you know, of course, these are little kids and stupid-ass teenagers that are making these things up, so what do I expect, you know? It's easy to run into these type of things, you know? My favorite character, like, literally, though, excluding the Creepypasta aside, Oblina was my most favorite. She was the one that was the most epic, most boss one. It sounds like the girl that was Tabitha St. Germain because she had a British accent, like Rarity from My Little Pony, so that would be a big-ass shocker if that happened because she had to be like in her 20s. I think she's like 48, 50 years old now, Tabitha St. Germain. So, that'd be crazy if that was her. Ikas was my second favorite. He reminded me of that thing from Count Chicken. I don't know why, the devil thing, but he didn't have a big-ass butt or anything like that. And Crump was the ugliest mother effer, man. He was disgusting, man. He had to, like, hold his little eyeballs in his, like, hands. That was freaky as hell. That creeped me the F out. Little 7-year-old me back in 97, 98. Or 7, 8-year-old me. Man, that creeped me the bejesus out. I mean, I'm in my 20s now, like 26, but still. Woo! And then the other one, I think it was a tranny cross-dresser or something, because he had a really thick man voice, the one that wore the high heels all the time, Grumble. No offense to LGBT community, I'm just saying, just putting it out there. So if you dislike that part, I'm sorry, but if you liked it, hey, like the video if you want. And comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But like I do say, people, peace out once again. Bros, women, bronies, and pegasisters. So we'll see you when I see you. This is probably the last one I'm going to do for a very, very long time for Cartoon Theory, so hopefully you enjoyed it. The other one I was going to do PB&J Otter Cartoon Theory, but I couldn't find anything. I'm just going to do like a regular cartoon nostalgic review on that on the Real Show. So be on tune for that, and that's it. I'm not going to be doing cartoon stuff for a while, except for anime. Still be doing anime reviews and reaction reviews and chapter reviews and all that. I will see you when I see you guys. A good day, have a good night, wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink, smoke weed at the same time. Don't do anything reckless. Keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it chill, keep it collective, all that good stuff. And until then, that's done, guys. Peace out. Stay tuned. More videos coming soon. Brand new videos on this channel almost every single day. And I will see you guys later, alright? Take it easy. Stay safe. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Links in the articles below if you want to read the whole thing yourself without my voice. Even though you probably heard it by now if you read the whole thing, if you're still at the end of this video. And I'll see you guys next time, alright? See you around. Peace out, lates. All that good stuff I just said. Take it easy, everyone. Be safe. And stay nostalgic if you want to, alright? I'm out of here. And out like sauerkraut. See ya.